Music has always been the soundtrack of my life, and certain songs carry memories that I'll never forget. In this first of 3 videos, I want to share some of the music that meant the most to me, and maybe you'll see some memories of your own. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Felix. Now, while I'm sharing my songs and the songs that meant the most to me, I would like to hear yours as well. What are the songs that shaped your life? Drop a comment below. Let me know. Hey, maybe we'll have some memories in common. Now, I'm not giving these songs in any particular order, other than to say that each one of these songs affected my life in some way. I'm not saying that these are the greatest songs of my lifetime in terms of sales or Billboard charting. What they are is songs that stood out to me. And the first song is the one that actually made me recognize my love for storytelling songs. I probably didn't really hear this and recognize it until probably about 1964, 65 maybe. But my father was always playing Marty Robbins on the turntable. It was gunfighter ballads and trail songs, more gunfighter ballads and trail songs, and Return of the Gunfighter. And they were imprinted on my mind. Now, while everybody else was listening to El Paso and Big Iron, two of Marty's biggest hits, the song that stood out to me was called San Angelo.
North of the border of old Mexico, I rode one day to the cow town of San Angelo.
And it was the story of a gunfighter who fell in love in the West Texas town of San Angelo, and how this jealous U.S. Marshal wanted her also. And in the end, everybody dies. That was a very typical thing of Marty Robbins. But that song really stood out to me because it was a complete story. El Paso, for instance, told a piece of the overall story. Marty later released 2 other songs related to El Paso that pretty much completed the story, and those would be El Paso City and Felina, which told the story of the woman in the song El Paso. San Angelo was an entire story encapsulated in that one song, which, by the way, was pretty long for the day's standards. This was a little bit over 5 minutes, but he told the story and took as much time as he needed to tell that story. Now, the next song was a song that was very heavy into nostalgia. It was talking about our lives as teenagers, discovering ourselves, and discovering later in life that we miss those times. And that song was by Bob Seger. It was called Night Moves.
I was a little too tall, could have used a few pounds. Tight pants points hollering out.
Little too tall, could have used a few pounds, is the opening line of that song. And I think a lot of people recognize that as a true ballad of our youth. And it became a ballad of my youth. The final song I'm going to talk about in this video is the song that pretty much became the real story of my life. Most of my life, I was on my own. I was out there, and I went from place to place. And as I tell my stories going forward, you'll hear about those. But I was going from place to place and a wanderer. Hell, even today, I live in an RV with my wife, and we go from place to place. But I'm not alone anymore. I never had a really true friend. Until probably well into my 50s, I always felt that I was on my own. So the song that I'm referencing is a song from 1982 One thing I do have to say as a side note is that the video for this song nearly ruined my appreciation of it. While everybody else, or all the other guys, were going gaga over Tony Katane, me, I felt like she was ruining my song. So I stopped watching the video and would only listen to the audio. And of course, that song is Here I Go Again by Whitesnake. That's always held a very, very special part in my life. And quite honestly, if I were ranking these songs, that would probably end up being number one. But that video, man, it had nothing to do with the song and the meaning of the song. And that's something that I'm all about, the meaning of the song, the story of the song. As I said earlier, let me know in the comments. Do any of these songs touch you personally? Did they make a difference in your life? And until next time, I'm Felix. And these are the stories and the music of my life.